I want to go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Good to have with us our friend, Congresswoman Debbie Lesko of Arizona's 8th Congressional District, and she's introduced some new legislation to save our gas stoves. Debbie, good to have you back with us.
It's great to be on your show, and I hadn't heard about this Palo Alto one, so I'm going to add this to my talking points.
Is that not the crazy?
Liberals have gone insane.
Oh yeah, but don't you dare touch the frogwa, or it's gonna be war. I mean, they'll come after you.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Wow. I got to use this one next week when my bill passes out of the Energy and Commerce Committee. I'll use it as another example when my Democratic colleagues, some of them are saying that my bill is a waste of time and political theater and all this stuff. Although I did get 3 Democrats on the Energy Subcommittee of the Energy and Commerce Committee to vote on my bill. And so I think it's a bipartisan bill. It's Save Our Gas Stoves. And basically what's happening is the Department of Energy is proposing a rule that would get rid or eliminate 100% of the freestanding gas stoves that are currently available in the market today and 96% of the currently available gas cooktops. So they have these new energy efficiency standards, and the manufacturers are saying none of the existing models of freestanding gas stoves would qualify for it. We'd have to remake the stove. It would be less. It would work worse. You'd only have probably one big burner on it. And anyway, of all of the problems that are going on in the United States and the world, we have all these crises going on. They're picking on gas stoves. Unbelievable.
Have you been able to determine exactly why they have a problem with gas stoves?
Well, you know, my philosophy and my belief, I should say, is that they want to eliminate natural gas, the use of natural gas, and they're doing that from all different agencies, right? So whether it's the Treasury Department that, you know, wants to discourage people and banks from lending to gas and oil, or if it's stopping leases on federal land for gas and oil, or whether it's pushing all electric vehicles instead of gasoline-powered vehicles, or now eliminating 100% of the existing natural gas stoves. I mean, this is an all-out war against American-made natural gas, and it's crazy because we rely on natural gas to produce most of the electricity in at least the state of Arizona. We have natural gas power plants. You can't just get rid of this stuff overnight. It's not going to work. Our electricity is not going to work. And people want to keep their gas stoves. They don't want to be told by the federal government to purchase in the future some stove that doesn't work well.
On the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line today, Congresswoman Debbie Lesko from Arizona. Congresswoman, I want to get to your legislation on women in just a minute, but I'm curious, we haven't heard a lot on how things are going at the border in Arizona now that Title 42 has been lifted. What's going on in your state?
Well, I'm on the Border Security Caucus, and we actually had a briefing just this week, and one of the people was from Yuma, Arizona. He's a county supervisor in Yuma, Arizona. He said there is currently a little bit of a lull that's going on as far as the number of people that are coming over, but we have news from another witness that testified in front of, or spoke in front of our caucus that there's more coming. So this other person was down in Panama saying there's a whole big group of people coming. And so this is, if there is a little bit of a lull, I don't know the reason for that, but there's thousands of people more that are coming across the border. He said that there are people murdering each other right on the Mexico side of Yuma, Arizona, that there's still, over capacity. They're releasing illegal immigrants into the city of Yuma, Arizona. And so this is just continues to be a crisis, and that's why Republicans in the U.S. House passed H.R. 1, which was our border security bill that will implement the return. It will reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy. It increases the standard for applying for asylum, so that right now it's such a low standard that everybody and anybody can just get into the United States. So increase the standard for that. It will finish, or not finish, but continue building the construction of the border wall. It does all kinds of great things. We passed it out of the House. Now it's in the Senate, so we'll see what happens.
I do want to go to your bill. You've reintroduced the Women's Bill of Rights. We were sharing a story earlier in the program about Riley Gaines, Adidas, now using a man, not a transgender man, but an actual man, to promote their new line of women's swimsuits. And it looks as though, at least from my observation, that women are being replaced by men. And this is part of a concerted effort by these sex and gender revolutionaries. I'm wondering what you see from your vantage point, and what is your bill going to do?
Well, that's just crazy that they're using a man for a woman's swimsuit. I mean, that is more insane than I could have even dreamt of. But anyway, what my bill does, it's a Women Bill of Rights, and it basically defines what a man and what a woman is for federal law, because there's these courts out there that are misguided rulings based on what sex is, and now we have a Supreme Court justice that can't even define what a woman is. So sadly, we have to define in federal law what a man and a woman is. So my bill says a person's sex means his or her biological sex, either male or female at birth, and for purposes of federal law addressing sex, the term woman and girl refer to human females, and the term man and boy refer to human males. For thousands and thousands of years, everybody knew this definition until all of a sudden, and recently, these radical liberals want to put everything on its head. So now you have males that are participating in girls and women's sports. And I don't understand for the life of me how my Democratic women colleagues are supporting this stuff, because it's taking away the rights of women, and it's just wrong. It's wrong. It's invading women's private spaces like women's locker rooms, women's bathrooms. It's just not fair to women, and this is wrong, and that's why I have introduced the bill, and that's why we had a press conference with Riley Gaines came yesterday in the U.S. Capitol, and we're going to push this bill forward and get it out of the U.S. House of Representatives.
I love it, love it, love it. All right, Congresswoman, we're going to be following all of this legislation very closely, and we always appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, Congresswoman Debbie Lesko out of Arizona.